Welcome to the Quantico Shooting Club, where safety by necessity is our most important product. The club wants nothing more than for you to have a terrific time shooting with us. Having said that, you should know that our very survival depends on having a 100% safety record. When you see this sign, you've arrived, and your first stop is the QSC Clubhouse. When you enter the clubhouse, you'll likely see the EMT or the QSC operations officer sitting at the desk. Introduce yourself. Tell them that you're here to shoot range 1. You'll be asked if you're a member, and if not, you'll be afforded the opportunity to become a member. If you choose not to become a member, you must be accompanied by a member, and you'll be charged a small fee to shoot. It's important to say here that while we offer this video as a service, the ultimate responsibility for your range safety belongs with you. There's a coffee table inside the clubhouse, and it will have at least one copy of the Range 1 Standard Operating Procedures. You are urged to read these. While it would be unpleasant for him to do so, the RSO or OIC can revoke your shooting privileges for the violation of any instructions contained in the SOP. Once you've been cleared to proceed to Range 1, you'll be issued either a yellow chit as a member or a red chit as a guest. These chits should be taken to Range 1 and presented to the RSO or OIC immediately upon your arrival. These are the 4 rifle ranges QSC has access to. Range 1 is the farthest to the left. Zooming in on Range 1, you can see its total limits as a blue rectangle and its actual shooting limits as a red rectangle. This is the Range 1 parking lot. Notice the 2 red X's. These are reserved parking 24 hours a day. Do not park there. When you arrive at the Range 1 parking lot, before breaking out any gear, it's best if you go into shooting house number 2, introduce yourself to both the RSO and the OIC, and you may even want to go ahead and sign in. When filling out the sign-in sheet, pay particular attention to member guest, your category 1, 2, 3, or 4, and an estimate of the number of rounds that you intend to shoot. When you go back to your vehicle to remove your gear, something like this is what we want to see: a cased weapon and all your other gear. Do not remove your weapon from the case in the parking lot. In fact, when you bring your cased weapon into shooting house number 2, find a firing line position and park all your gear behind the yellow line aft of that position. At no time should you go forward of this line, the firing line, unless you're instructed to do so by the range safety officer. Remember that we said the actual shooting restrictions were delineated by the red triangle in the previous photograph? This is a down-to-earth look at that red rectangle. While the range is 50 targets wide and is delineated by a red flag flying by target 1 and target 50, the actual shooting dimensions are marked out by orange stakes which parallel the sides of shooting house number 2. You'll notice that this target is homemade. More on that later. When you are authorized to move up to the firing line and uncase your weapon, this is what we want to see. Primarily something in the chamber of any weapon, rifle, pistol, or revolver, that indicates it can't possibly be holding a round. We debated about showing examples of all the incorrect behaviors we've seen on Range 1, and there have been many. Having thought about it, we decided, why show and possibly reinforce bad behaviors? Instead, we'll briefly show a shooter who's doing it right. This shooter has built himself a good, stable firing position. Also, the muzzle extends right up to the firing line. And notice how his finger comes immediately off the trigger after he's fired. The line is cold, and the RSO has cleared shooters to go down range and place, repair, or retrieve targets. So what's the most important thing about this picture? It has no shooter in it. When the line is cold, there is absolutely no handling of weapons. Range 1 requires that you provide your own targets. Target construction should be simple and durable. A nice compact PVC lower usually works well and will not get shot up. You can drill holes to stake the PVC to the ground, but it's probably more useful to use the sandbags that are present at all the yard lines. PVC is brittle and can crack easily on a misdirected hammer strike. The uprights are best made of thin diameter lumber. They're very easy to replace if they do get shot up. Targets must not contain any large metal items, although staples attaching the target are okay. In this case, I used nylon toilet seat hardware to attach my cross members. Your target and hits on your target must be viewable to you from the firing line. Something to show the hits or extreme contrast is desirable. In this case, a 300-yard F-class target center has been overlaid with a Birchwood Casey shoot-and-see target. This makes 300-yard shots visible through a rifle or spotting scope.